Hey, what's up you guys? It's Editor 316 back to YouTube. By the way, before I make this video, I just want to say, right now I'm wearing my WWE title because I'm awesome. So, I'm joking. But, I don't know, I just felt like it. Feels good. Alright, now this video is going to be on the 3 questions that a YouTuber asked. This YouTuber's name is, I Am Fierce 020, and he's a good friend of mine on YouTube, and he asked me these 3 questions, and I believe these 3 questions were so good that I should actually make a video on them. So I Am Fierce 020, thank you so much, and this will be also a shout out video for him. If you haven't checked his channel out, go ahead and check it out now. Go ahead and subscribe to him. He's a great guy, really nice, great to be friends with. Alright, so here are the 3 questions he asked. Number 1 is, who influenced you to like or watch wrestling? Well, see, if I go back to 2001, around that time, the only thing that kind of influenced me to watch wrestling is probably, I don't know, I have no clue. This is how it all started. Back in the days, like in 2001, I believe I was 7 years old, 7 years old. So when I basically, at that time, I was like a cartoon fan. I used to love all those crazy cartoons, like those, what you call it, I don't know, anyways, like, you know, those cartoons like Pokemon or Yu-Gi-Oh! Or anime, all that stuff. And I was never into sports at the time, never into sports. I used to hate sports, as a matter of fact. I used to hate baseball, I used to hate football, I used to hate everything. And what happened was, at the time, obviously my dad was a wrestling fan since he was a teenager, and he never told me about it, honestly, because he thought that all that violence would be a little bit corrupted for my childhood. So he thought that if I wanted to watch wrestling, then it would be okay. But anyway, so a lot of my family members were huge wrestling fans, like my uncle, my grandfather. My mom, she wasn't so much into it, but she kind of had that little tradition going to her. My sister, and then it came to me. My sister's, by the way, like 10 years older than me, so yeah. And what happened was, I only knew a couple of wrestlers' names. I only knew Hulk Hogan, I only knew The Undertaker, Stone Cold Steve Austin, and Eddie Guerrero. I heard of Eddie Guerrero from WCW and from the early WWE days. And what happened was, I was walking to the store one day, and they were like in the FYE, I believe, and they were, I don't know if it was FYE or Best Buy, I don't remember, I don't recall, but they had all the DVDs on the shelf, all the used DVDs, and I kept looking through the DVDs. I was like, what the hell can I, like, where can I get some Pokemon movies or anything like that? And as I'm walking, a yellow and red picture attracts me, and I just look at it, and there was a picture of Hulk Hogan right there. And I was like, wow, I know that guy. And then I take that VHS tape, I turn it around, and it had all the list of matches. I don't even remember the pay-per-view. That's how naive and how long ago it was, and how naive I was. And I look at the matches, and there was a match with Hulk Hogan and Sting on it, and a match with Eddie Guerrero and Rey Mysterio. I believe it was Starrcade, I don't remember. And I was like, whoa. And I asked my mom, who was not into wrestling as much, so she didn't knew what Starrcade was. She just kind of watched that World Wrestling Federation stuff. So I asked my mom, can I buy this? She said, oh yeah, why not? And it was only $2, so I bought like 3 VHS tapes. That's how much crazy I was in just 1 minute after looking at Hulk Hogan's picture. So I come home, I watch the VHS tapes, and I watched the whole entire thing. All 3 VHS tapes, 2 hours each. So in total it was 6 hours. I saw the entire thing all day. My dad was like, what's he watching? He asked my mom, what's he watching? And my mom was like, I don't know, it's something about Starrcade. My dad's like, holy crap, that's just a wrestling pay-per-view and all this stuff. So my dad checks over and he sees that I bought Starrcade or something like that, I don't know. He sees that I bought all that stuff, and he was so happy that I kind of got into the tradition and everything like that. So that was how I became a wrestling fan. Very stupid, I know, but that's kind of the way it all started. Now if you look at my DVD collection, over 250 DVDs, you see my championship belt, all the wrestlers I've met, all the places I've been to, Survivor Series, SmackDown, Raw, all those different places. It's just amazing how one little thing starts a whole entire collage of dominance and everything like that. So that's basically how it all started. Alright? Number 2, who or what inspired you to make wrestling related vids? That's very easy. 2 guys inspired me to make wrestling videos. Number 1, Gemini 686. He's not only the one who inspired me to make videos, but he also inspired me to collect my own DVD collection. I used to love watching his videos. I loved his DVD collection. I remember one time when he made a DVD collection vid and it took him 3 parts to make it, and I was so excited that I literally watched it 5 times a day, 6 days a week. Oh my god. My mom used to be so crazy. She was like, wow, you're just watching that same video for a long time. And I said, yeah, because this guy's he's like my hero on YouTube and everything like that. And Gemini 686, what a great YouTuber. Now he's not here anymore, but it sucks, but he had a great collection. He inspired me to do those 2 things. Another one who inspired me was actually Assault and Battery 777. He's just a tremendous YouTuber, tremendous guy, such a nice guy. I always used to love watching his day in the life videos, his random topics and the room tours and his figure collections, belt collections, and sometimes even DVD collections. Just great things to watch, and that basically inspired me to make my own videos on YouTube. Alright, the last question I Am Fierce 020 asked was, what does wrestling mean to your life? It means a lot of things. It's basically a sport for me. Like in my high school, they asked me, well, you want to play baseball? I said, nah. You want to play basketball? Nah. You want to play football? Nah. What do you want to do? Wrestling. I love wrestling. Wrestling is like my dream sport. I cannot picture myself becoming a professional wrestler, but I can picture myself at least wrestling with my friends rather than that. So wrestling was not only like a sport in my life, it has also been art. Like, I got to know what traveling around the world means. Like, I understand what the people are going through when they wrestle. I know that wrestling is not just about hurting each other. It's actually about entertaining people to actually create this art in which you can carry the legacy of. I mean, when I look at Ric Flair and Sting, I think of artistic men. I mean, they make a perfectly good match together. When I think of Bret Hart, Hulk Hogan, I think of the most charismatic stars. I think of personalities. So basically, wrestling means a lot in people's life. It means a lot to many different people. And when people say that wrestling is fake and you're just full of shit and everything like that, when they torment me or they just try to intimidate me, which they don't, by the way, but when they try, it just pisses me off. It irritates me. I feel like, they have no clue what they're talking about. Wrestling is a tremendous sport. It's a worldwide sport where it's not like baseball. It's not like cricket or football. Football like American football. I mean, those are just like only individual country sport. However, wrestling is all over the world. You go to India, there's wrestling. You go to Canada, USA, Russia, England, Japan, China. You go anywhere, there's wrestling. Always. And wrestling is actually the most popular sport today. It may be classified as entertainment, but it's sport entertainment. It's not like there's only one sport company, wrestling company. There's actually many companies. You got MMA, which is actually a type of wrestling, okay? It requires a little bit of wrestling into it. So that is a tremendous sport. You got TNA, you got ROH, WWE, all those wrestling companies, UFC. So see, that's basically what I believe wrestling is in life. It's actually, one more thing I have to add about this question is that wrestling is not just life, it's larger than life. When you look at WrestleMania 3 and when WrestleMania 3 starts and you hear Gorilla Monsoon in this commentary, the irresistible force meet the immovable object. I mean, it gives me goosebumps when I listen to that. When I hear Austin, after King of the Ring 96, kicks Jake the Snake Roberts' ass to be the King of the Ring, Or I hear Austin say, talk about your song, talk about John 3:16. Austin 3:16 says, I just whipped your ass. It gives me chills. If you hear The Rock, if you smell what The Rock is cooking, it gives me chills. When you hear the Road Warriors theme song, it gives me chills. When I hear Hulk Hogan's theme song, it gives me tremendous amount of chills. Roddy Piper, oh my goodness. That is what wrestling is all about. Having people believe in them. And you see how I was talking about chills and everything like that? I don't think any other sports can do that. I don't think baseball can give you chills or have this emotion from inside of you come out. I don't think that can ever happen. Baseball, soccer, football, not a chance. So that's basically what I believe wrestling is, what wrestling means to my life. And those are basically the 3 questions, okay? So thank you, I Am Furious 020, for asking that question, because I've always wanted to let that out to all you guys, but I thought, you know, it would be a random thing if I just did it automatically. But however, when he just asked just a couple of hours ago, I was very happy. Finally, someone got to let me spill the juice out or something like that. So yeah, that's basically it. So give me your thoughts on this video, comment, rate, subscribe, and you know what? I'll see you guys next time. Alright, peace.